Hi there, it's Olga. Thank you so much for following my 25 days of Christmas this year. Today's tutorial is going to be the last of the series. I'm going to create a framed picture featuring some newest paper discovery dies as well as some older ones. So let's get started. I have found a plain wooden frame that is meant for a 5x7 picture, and I covered it with a single layer of white gesso. I have also trimmed down a piece of milk color cardstock to 5x7 inches so that it would fit exactly into my frame. I'm going to place this cardstock into the Elegant Room Embossing folder, which is the part of my latest release. This one creates a Baroque wooden wall panel as well as the floor. My sheet of cardstock is actually a bit smaller than the embossing folder, so I'm choosing the portion of the pattern that I would like to have on my project, and then I'm sending the folder through the die cutting machine. This pattern is really intricate and it's going to create a really pretty textured background for my little scene. Then I'm going to stick down the embossed background onto the backing that came with the picture frame. Before I place the background into the frame, I'm also going to attach some strips of foam inside, and that is going to create a little bit of extra dimension. You can also use the double-sided foam tape, but I just ran out of it again after making a few shaker cards. I'm only adding the foam tape along the three sides of the frame, but not to the bottom, because I'm going to tuck in some die cuts there and I need that extra space. Then I have applied more glue onto the foam and I attached my background inside the picture frame. For my focal image, I have decided to use the beautiful fireplace, which is the part of the Timeless Room die set from the latest release. As you see, this fireplace has a screen. You can keep it or you can remove it if you want an open fireplace. So this is what I'm going to do this time. By the way, this die is pretty large. It measures 3.5 by 5 inches. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of Antique Linen Distress Oxide ink around the outlines. And by the way, the cut lines that are created by the die make the application of the ink even more convenient. As always, the tools and supplies I'm using will be listed down below in the description box as well as on my blog. Next, I'm going to use some scrap pieces of gold mirror cardstock and I'm going to attach them behind the negative die cut areas of the fireplace. I'm just applying some liquid glue around the little holes and I'm backing them up with a piece of cardstock. This is what the result should look like at the moment. I'm going to add more golden decorations, so I've die cut this fireplace out of gold mirror cardstock. I'm going to line up the hearth with the gold, so I'm just placing the die cuts at the wrong side of my fireplace and then I'm taping them down with the washi tape. I have added more washi tape to cover up all the holes at the wrong side, so I have some sticky tape exposed and I'm going to use it to inlay all the golden pieces. I'm also adding a little bit of liquid glue just to make sure they won't ever come off. I have applied some foam tape at the wrong side of the fireplace and I'm sticking down a piece of brown paper as a background for the fire. Then I'm sticking down this fireplace onto the background and I'm tucking it behind the picture frame at the bottom. To create some Christmas decorations, I'm going to use this flower pot, which is the part of the fireplace die set, and I'm also going to use those plants that are from another set called Elegant Door. I was using it at the very first tutorial in this series. All images are the same scale, so they all can be used together, and the fireplace would work great with the door. I have layered a few die cuts to give the plants more dimension, and I'm also layering a yellow pot onto the dark background so that it creates a kind of shading. Then I'm attaching 2 flower pots at both sides of the fireplace. Then I'm also going to add both plants with the foam tape. This composition is going to be totally symmetrical. Since I have removed the screen, I'm going to add some fire, of course, and the flame die is included in the set. You can totally add just one die cut, but when I'm making fireplace cards, I like to add few of them just to give the fire more significance on the project. By the way, if you would like to see other cards featuring fireplaces that I made earlier, I will put a link down below in the description. So I have attached 3 red flame die cuts, and then I'm going to add one more orange one at the very front. Even though it's an interior scene, I couldn't do without my village die set. This time I'm going to use it to create the Christmas village decoration on top of the fireplace. I backed up the house die cut with the piece of orange paper to light up the windows, and then I'm going to inlay the little door, and I'm also using the white die cut to create the roof covered in snow. I have made 2 more houses exactly the same way, and I'm also going to use a couple of golden tree die cuts. The tree die is the part of Paper Discovery magazine kit, which is, by the way, on sale now. It is available at half the price, and then it will be gone because it's a limited edition. I have attached the largest house in the center of the mantelpiece, and then I'm going to stick down the 2 trees at both sides of that house. Then I will be adding 2 more houses next to the trees. This composition is totally based on symmetry, so I'm following this principle all the time. I was using the foam adhesive behind the houses to create a little bit more dimension. And now it's time for the finishing touches. I'm going to use this Snow Tex embossing paste, that is the gritty white embossing paste. I'm applying it with the spatula all along the mantelpiece to create the artificial snow. I will also be adding just a little bit of it onto the rooftops. At this point, I decided that my project really misses the sentiment, so I'm going to use those golden alpha stickers that I've made myself. I do have a tutorial how to make them. I'll put a link down below as always. I'm using that die cut line as a guide to attach all the letters, and I'm going to spell the word Merry. The word fits perfectly into this space, and the fire will stand for bright. Now it's time for the very last finishing touches. To add something to the magic atmosphere, I'm going to create some sparks above the fire. So I'm just attaching a few of golden star confettis right onto the brown background. As always, I'm using Ranger Multimedia Matte in a needle applicator bottle, and I'm also using a pickup pencil. Then I'm adding just a few half pearls to the trees to create some Christmas decorations, and now my project is finished. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for supporting my channel, for watching my holiday series. I always enjoy reading your comments, guys. You really are the best. Have a very Merry Christmas and a bright and happy New Year, and I hope to meet you all again really soon. Bye!